no matter how much you may disagree, auditors are awesome. They're amazing. They provide protection to people like you and me from something called misinformation. Essentially what they do is they assure us that everything businesses tell us is happening in their business is actually happening. And that's an amazing thing. And auditors keep getting better and better at doing it. One of the ways they have gotten better in recent times is through advanced technology. Now think for a moment, imagine if you were responsible for millions and millions of transactions. You and a group of 20 people. That sounds daunting. Luckily with new technologies, you can take those millions of transactions and make them into a little graph that you can look at, or send off robots and AI to go do your dirty work for you. This advanced technology has meant that audits have become extremely efficient and effective. However, researchers are concerned that we haven't fully looked at all of the risks associated with these innovations. One of the ones that my research looks at is litigation risk. Now what that means is when an auditor misses a big piece of misinformation, they're often taken to court and sued. And there an auditor has to prove that they've done enough to fulfill their responsibility to protect us, the public. And if they can't do that, they have to pay up. That's a major business risk. That's litigation risk. Ultimately, what we want to look at is how technology affects that dynamic. So let's take a moment and step into the courtroom ourselves. You and I are jurors that have to determine the responsibility of an auditor for making a mistake. And I want to know how technology changes your evaluation. Or in other words, how do you make decisions differently based on whether or not technology was used? Do you trust it? Do you look at the auditor differently? What we would assume may be true is that since these are much more effective methods using technology, that we would assign less blame. The auditor did a better job. But that actually doesn't always happen. In fact, a recent study showed that with other procedures, auditors who did a better job and made a mistake were actually punished by jurors more than auditors who did a worse job and made the exact same mistake. That's kind of crazy and counterintuitive. It means we're punishing people for doing a better job, which doesn't fit with our definition of justice. And so what we're concerned about is that people do that because of human psychology and various characteristics that we have, and we're concerned that that same principle will pull over into audit technologies. So we've developed a model and are working on implementing it to where we can measure that judgment or evaluation from a juror when an auditor makes a mistake in the courtroom, but we're going to do it on different conditions. No technology, some technology, but human-directed, like software, and full automation, no humans. We have a hypothesis and a strong and compelling theory that there will actually be a penalty for this, which means we have a backwards situation that we need to fix so we don't penalize people for doing better work. And that's what our research hopes to contribute. Thank you so much.